Very good to see you all. Welcome to Justice Right Now. Every Wednesday, 11:58 a.m. till 12:32 p.m. GMT. 30 minutes to write whatever you need to reflect, to explore, inspired by amazing Black writers and writing as activism. Every day, we have the same structure. We have the same driving through prompt, which is disruption as opportunity. I will share a poem with you. We'll then do a 3-minute free writing response to that. We'll then do 10 back-to-back speed poems, so super intense. Pia, 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 pia. We'll then take 4 breaths together. And then I'll give you some homework that you can choose to do or not do. Sound good? Sound good. I feel a bit stressed out after that. Don't know why I did a little boob shimmy after that internet issue. But thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. So we're going to start off with a prompt poem. I always post this the day before in my feed. I'm going to try something a little bit different. So this poem is available on audio and to see on the internet. It's by one of my favourite writers, a poet called Terence Hayes. If you don't know him, check him out. He is an absolute G. So what I'm going to try and do is put up the text whilst also playing the audio. And actually, as a dyslexic, I really enjoy digesting text this way, hearing it and seeing it at the same time. It's from his collection called American Sonnets for My Past and Future Assassin. Very good collection. And it's the sonnet, I lock you in an American sonnet that is part prison. Terence Hayes used a lot of words. Love him for that. So I'm going to try and put up the image of the text. I've never done this. I'm like such a grandma with technology. So this is the poem. Can you read all of that, or is my face in the way? Please tell me, because I've not done this before. Can you read it? At least some of it. There's a bit of a lag as well, so let me get this ready. Can read most of it. Some of it. Okay. I'm trying new things. Disruption as opportunity. You should hear it as well. So this is I Lock You in an American Sonnet that is part prison by Terence Hayes. My face is in the way of the first 2 lines. There's a metaphor in that somewhere, but let's listen to the poem. You'll be able to hear it as well. I've got a big speaker.
American Sonnet for My Past and Future Assassin. I lock you in an American sonnet that is part prison, part panic closet, a little room in a house set aflame. I lock you in a form that is part music box, part meat grinder, to separate the song of the bird from the bone. I lock your persona in a dream-inducing sleeper hold while your better selves watch from the bleachers. I make you both Jim and Crow here. As the Crow, you undergo a beautiful catharsis trapped one night in the shadows of the gym. As the gym, the feel of crow shit dropping to your floors is not unlike the stars falling from the pep rally posters on your walls. I make you a box of darkness with a bird in its heart. Voltas of acoustics, instinct, and metaphor. It is not enough to love you. It is not enough to want you destroyed.
Okay, hopefully you could hear that okay. I know that my face is concealing some of the lines, but let's listen to that one more time before we do our 3-minute free write. Some beautiful people. Hey, Mike. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Phoebe. Lovely to see you. We're just about to do our first three write. I could call it a 3 write, couldn't I? Our first 3-minute free write in response to this poem by Terence Hayes. Hey. Let's listen to that one more time.
American Sonnet for My Past and Future Assassin. I lock you in an American sonnet that is part prison, part panic closet, a little room in a house set aflame. I lock you in a form that is part music box, part meat grinder to separate the song of the bird from the bone. I lock your persona in a dream-inducing sleeper hold while your better selves watch from the bleachers. I make you both Jim and Crow here. As the Crow, you undergo a beautiful catharsis trapped one night in the shadows of the gym. As the gym, the feel of crow shit dropping to your floors is not unlike the stars falling from the pep rally posters on your walls. I make you a box of darkness with a bird in its heart. Voltas of acoustics, instinct, and metaphor. It is not enough to love you. It is not enough to want you destroyed.
Okay, so that's our prompt poem. Let me go back to just me. How do I get rid of that picture now? Interesting. There we go. Here I am. Live learning with Debris Stevenson. So we're going to do a 3-minute free write in response to that. If you've never free written before, the idea is to just write freely. It's also called automatic writing sometimes, which is really, I'm just trying to get rid of this little thing at the bottom now. There we go. The idea is just to write freely, not to question yourself, to just explore your mind, surprise yourself. You really want to surprise yourself. Don't stop writing is the key thing. You just want to push into any, we're saying this disruption as opportunity. If you feel like, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to say, I don't know where to go, lean into that. Start writing that, because that's where new, surprising things will come, right? As Bogdan Piasecki would say, shit your way to greatness. You got to write a whole lot of shit to write one thing that's good, right? DJ M, my boy, in the house, yes. So we're going to write for 3 minutes in response to that poem. If you've just jumped in and you want to write, just write freely, it's fine. If you free write all the time and you want a bit of an extra challenge, you'll see with that poem that we just looked at, it was the shape of a box. It was this shape. And he writes about boxes and prisms and feeling trapped within it. And I'm really interested in that when the form of the poem, Terence is obsessed with this, matches some of the content of the poem. So I just want in the free write, if you want an extra challenge, write into this idea of boxes. That could mean the shape, that could mean the idea. I'm going to play with the shape. Little boxes, different sizes of boxes. Any questions? Ask me now while I set up the timer. If you've just jumped in, we're about to free write for 3 minutes. Feel free to grab your writing utensils and join in. Eve, yes, great to have you in this space. Let me take a sip of water because I know there's a lag. We good, yeah? 3-minute free write, inspired by Terence Hayes, playing with the idea of boxes. Your 3-minute start here. If you've just jumped in with free writing, jump in. You can still write for another minute. Woo. Your 3 minutes is up. God, I went down a deep, deep rabbit hole. I went down a whole lot of rabbit hole just then. Well done. First poem down. We're now going to go on to the speed writing section of Justice right now. This is inspired by an amazing poet called Roger Robinson. If you don't know him, check him out. Absolute legend. And the idea is we're going to write 10 poems back to back. You will have 1 minute to write each poem. I will give you your title. You will then have 1 minute to write 6 lines of anything. You have to write 6 lines. Don't give yourself an out. In your head, you're like, I have to write 6 lines. I don't care if you write the same word over and over again 6 times. Don't give yourself any leeway, because it's that pressure that will cause you to reach into new creative corners of your mind, to play around, to have a rummage. I want you to wander in to the dark, dusty corners of the attic of your mind and find stuff, explore. If you've just jumped in, you can still write 10 more poems. You have to write 6 lines. I call them poems, but it could be a bit of a song. It could be a bit of dialogue. It could be a bit of prose. Whatever you want to mine into right now. The titles that I'm going to give you are a combination of my bits of my writing from last week's Justice right now. And also I've got 4 James Baldwin quotes in today, because I've been reading and watching a lot of James Baldwin over the past week. If you don't know him, Jesus Christ, you've got to check him out. He's an absolute legend. I'll let you know which ones are from James. If you want to give yourself an extra challenge, try and write more than 6 lines. If you want an extra challenge, try and loop all of them into each other to make one long 60-line something. If you've got any questions, yo, Josh, how's it going? If you've got any questions, you better be writing some poems with me. Now is the time, because I'm about to set up the timer. Have a sip of my coffee. Great. So, your first title is, and this is from me, Mother Cries at the Dinner Table. Mother Cries at the Dinner Table is your first title. You have 1 minute to write a 6-line something with the title, Mother Cries at the Dinner Table. Let's go. Okay, I'm going to try and connect all of mine together. That's your first one down. Your next title, and this is from James Baldwin, is They Lied About the World I Knew. They lied about the world I knew is your next title from James Baldwin. Your 1 minute to write a 6-line something starts now. They lied about the world I knew. Oi, V. Family, come on, write some poems. Our title is They Lied About the World I Knew. And your 1 minute to write a 6-line something with that title starts now. Okay, your next title, and this is also from James Baldwin, is Prophets and Angels Weep. Prophets and Angels Weep is your title. You've got 1 minute to write a 6-line something with the title Prophets and Angels Weep. Your 1 minute starts now. Let's go. Your next title, the next few are from me now, is Relief. Just one word, Relief is your title. You've got 1 minute to write a 6-line something with the title Relief. Let's go. Very weird, but that's good. Try and remember to breathe while you're doing this. If you've just jumped in, you can still write 6 more poems. Your next title is How Do I Pronounce Myself? ? How do I pronounce myself? ? Is your next title. You've got 1 minute to write 6 lines of something with the title How Do I Pronounce Myself? Let's go. Okay. I'm writing some weird shit and I'm enjoying it. I'm venting a lot of stuff, which so weird, the things that you don't realise you need to vent till you start writing. Our next title is Who is that blonde-arsed man? Who is that blonde-arsed man? It's a weird line that I wrote from something. Let's go with it. I like the quirky ones. Who is that blonde-arsed man? Question mark. 2 questions in a row. Didn't realise that. You've got 1 minute to write a 6-line something with the title, Who is that blonde-arsed man? Question mark. Let's go. Okay. Your next title is, and this is another quote from James Baldwin, some miscalculation in the formula. Isabel, I'd love it if you wrote some poems. That would make me very, very happy. Your next title is Some Miscalculation in the Formula. And that's a James Baldwin quote. Some miscalculation in the formula is your title. And you've got 1 minute to write a 6-line something with that title starting now. Let's go. Okay, 3 more. You're nearly there. Disruption as opportunity. If your hands are aching, and they probably will be, try and lean into that. See if it helps you get anywhere new with your writing. And if you've just jumped in, you can still write 3 poems. Our next title is It Tastes Like Batteries. It Tastes Like Batteries is your next title. And you've got 1 minute to write 6 lines starting now. Okay, your next title, we've got 2 left, is Fuck, It's a Sign. Fuck, I've given up not swearing, by the way, in these. Apologies. Fuck, It's a Sign is your penultimate title. You've got 1 minute to write a 6-line something with the title Fuck, It's a Sign. Let's go. Okay, your last one. The final James Baldwin quote of today and your final poem. And if you've just jumped in, why not write 1 6-line poem today? Your title is I Am Forced to Be an Optimist. It's from James Baldwin. I Am Forced to Be an Optimist is your final title. I am forced to be an optimist, and your 1 minute starts now. Let's go. Marco, I love you. Okay. Woo-ha! My room is hot, you know. Your time is up. Thank you for writing 11 poems with me today in our Justice Right Now. I'm going to take 4 box breaths. I just think after writing that ferociously, particularly with untopics and feelings that we're unpacking, particularly if you're approaching this from a position of activism, if you're, you know, a lot of the things we're unmining take a lot. So we're just going to try and have a moment of peace. I feel a bit stressed out as well because of the internet. So we're going to take 4 box breaths, which means holding for 4, inhaling for 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, holding for 4. And we're going to do that 4 times. Then I'll give you some homework that you can choose to do or not do. And then I'll see you next week, hopefully. So we're going to hold. Breathe in through the nose. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. And hold. Ooh, I always need that. I actually, before any big show, I do that on the toilet. TMI, sorry. Your homework for today is to edit some or as much of what you've written today. Make sure you read through it all, everything that you've written, and then take a section and make an American sonnet out of it. So a sonnet inspired by Terence Hayes' sonnets, which are generally, they're 14 lines, and they're in that box shape that we saw earlier. So yeah, just in a box, 14 lines. You don't have to do any of the other Shakespearean sonnet things like iambic pentameters or rhyming couplets or whatever. Not rhyming couplets, A-B. What? You don't need the rhyming pattern. Just 14 lines in a box, exploring love, whatever that means to you. And just make a tight little edit out of what you've written today if you want to. I'd suggest giving yourself an hour to do so, but you could do it in 10 minutes if you wanted to. Thank you so much for sharing this space with me. I really appreciate it. I'm really enjoying the amount of reading this is pushing me to do on a weekly basis. The writing it's making me do. Please do send me stuff, share stuff. I'm going to save this in my feed as I always do. And actually, I've managed to download it today, so maybe I'll be able to put it on YouTube. Let's see. I've not quite descended from my grannyhood yet, but we'll see. So much love. Have an amazing week. And I'll see you next week, Wednesday, for Justice Right Now. Take care.